welcome to Village Green by Peer Sylvester. So this is a game of pretty gardens and petty grudges. Excellent. So I've already set the game up. I'm going to play as one player. I am going to be playing as the village of Market Foxby, which there's a number of different villages in the game. I think there's 5 because you can play with up to 5 people. But I'm only going to be playing as one of the villages. This game isn't really a solo game, but I'm only going to play as one just to show you how the game works. The game is set up, it's ready to go. There are 2 types of cards in the game. You've got purple cards and green cards. The purple cards are all about scoring points, and the green cards are the cards that allow you to score those points. You'll see how that works later. But it doesn't matter how many players you're playing with, you always start the game with 3 purple cards laid out, 3 green cards laid out like this. So this is going to be a bit strange because as I'm only playing as one player, it's kind of a part of the game that these cards be cycling out all the time as players take them, so it's going to affect that. We'll just throw whatever the leftmost card away as we're playing to make it look like other players are taking those cards in between our turns. But if you can just imagine that that's how the game would flow. Right, let's get started. So at the start of the game, each player draws 3 green cards and 3 purple cards. 2, 3. Just like that. Now, let's have a look at these. So, we'll start with the green cards. So, the green cards, they're quite colourful, nice art on them. Got a bunch of different symbols. So, kind of most important, you could argue, is the symbol in the top left. So, there's 3 types of flower in this game. I've got, I think those supposed to be roses. And you've got, I'm not sure what these are, lilies or something like that. And you've got this type of flower as well. Now, you'll kind of see there's a circle around the rose, there's a diamond around that, there's a triangle around that, so that can make it easier to differentiate between them. The other thing about the game is that there's also 3 different colours. Now, we've got reds and yellows here, I've got reds and yellows in my hands, there's also purple flowers as well. The other symbols at the bottom, these become important for scoring. So this is a pond, this is a structure, but you've also got things like trees, but there's actually 3 different types of trees, so we've got this as well. So yep, it's already looking a wee bit more complex than it did at first. And yeah, the game does get a little bit complicated when it comes to placing cards, but it's all part of the fun. So the purple cards, these are your point scoring cards. So this, for example, says it's the Peter Petals Awards. Each purple rose gives you 3 points. Fairly straightforward. You get some more complicated ones, so you've got awards for feature variety, you've got 1 structure and 1 tree and 1 pond or an empty space will get you 6 points. And this is integration of natural and man-made, so they want to see structures and trees. The more, the better. If you have 1 structure and no trees, you're going to lose points because there's no natural there. What you do with these is you lay them out next to your village. So the 3 cards you're dealt at the start of the game, they go to the right of your village card. Now, this is a good point to actually show you what this means. So, if you imagine that this is a 4x4 grid, okay? So this is your village. So you've already got the 4 at the top, but you're going to have 3 cards laid out down here. Now, this card here, it doesn't really do very much. Now, it does have points on it. It has 1 point on it, and then the other side is greyed out because there is a special ability you can use in this game, but I'll cover that later. If you haven't used the special ability by the end of the game, you gain a point for that. But if you can imagine, let's just take these cards just now, and as the game has gone on, I've got these spaces filled up. These would go here. Now, how you're actually scoring points at the end of the game is this card only scores for this row. This card only scores for this row. This card only scores for this column. So you can see where, when it comes to placing these cards, so these are the cards that will go into your village, these green cards. When it comes to placing these cards, it's quite important where you put them. So this structure would be good for this column because this column wants structures, but also wants trees. So I'm going to want to get some trees in here as well, so, you know, something like that. But there are limitations on what you can place and where, and it all comes down to these flowers. So I'll play through the game and I'll show you how that works. So on your turn, you can take 1 action, and that action is either take a green card or a purple card. You can take any of the ones that are available, face up, or you can take one from the deck. If you want a blind draw. So let's have a look at what we want to do. So I'm going to look at these again. So this is structures, trees and ponds, so I want to be looking for those. Purple roses. Okay, well I don't have any purple roses in my hand and there's none available here, so I may just wait that one out, see what I can get later. And best integration of natural and man-made. So structures and trees are good for this one. So as I've already said, there are trees here. This pond would be good for me for this one as well. So I'm going to take one of those. So let's think, what have I got in my hand? Now, colours and flower types are very important. You want things to kind of match up. So I'm going to take this red, this lovely willow tree here. I'm going to take this one with the red flower, the red triangle flower on the top. Now once you've taken a card, you turn over another and replace it. Okay, so now that I've taken a green card, I now have to play a green card. So I can only have 3 green cards in my hand. So I have to now play one. So yeah, I'm wanting trees in here, so I am going to start my game by placing that there. Okay? So it would now be another player's turn. So let's just simulate that by throwing that away. We'll move these up. This isn't actually part of how the game actually works, but this is just to simulate another player playing. Okay, so we've now got a yellow rose here, and that's got 2 willow trees on it. Exciting stuff. So if it's my turn again, I'm going to be thinking, right, trees are good. Trees are good for me. In this column, I only want 1 tree, and 1 structure, and 1 pond. I've now missed the boat with the pond that I've thrown away to simulate the other player playing. So, 1 tree, but that's got 2 trees, and that's got 2 trees. But I do want 2 trees in here as well, in this column. I've already put 1 tree in. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this single tree card and get it into this column here. So we'll replace that. And I'm going to want to play something in here. Now this is where we get down to the placement of the cards depending on the flowers. So let's just say for argument's sake, okay, let's swap these 2 round. Now we can't actually do that during the game, I'm just doing that to show you how this works. But I want to play this card into here. Now I can do that, that is a valid move, and I'll tell you why that's a valid move, okay? These 2 cards, they're identical, okay? But the placement rules state that you have to place, sorry, you can only place a card adjacent to another card, and that's adjacent orthogonally, so side by side or above and below, if the colour of the flower matches, or the type of the flower matches. If neither matches, you cannot place it, okay? So yeah, I can place that there because both the colour and the type of flower match, so that's a winner. But I could have also placed this one here. Now that's a different type of flower, but it's the same colour. So I could place that there if I wanted to. I could place that there if I wanted to. Again, it's the same colour, but different type. Can I place this? This is a yellow rose. It's a different type, and it's a different colour. So I cannot, under any circumstances, now place this card here or here, because it does not match with that. And this is where the game becomes a brain burner. And sometimes you'll find that you've boxed yourself into a bit of a hole and you cannot place any cards anywhere. And it does happen. It's happened when I've been playing this with my partner. Both of us have done this. We've got ourselves into a situation where there's a gap and there's nothing that you can legally place in that gap. Now that's fine, you don't have to fill your village, but you know, doing so is probably going to earn you more points. I say probably, it may not. It just depends on what you're actually placing. Okay, so let's carry on. I have to place a card. And yeah, I was going to put that there, so that's going to fulfill the requirements for this 1 tree. So what I want to get more of in this is I want to get 1 structure and I want to get 1 pond, or have an empty space. So there you go, that's one of those instances where having an empty space actually might help you. So let's simulate again, let's throw that away. We'll just move these up and get a new card out. So that's that invisible second player taking their turn. Okay, so here we go. Here's an instance where maybe my planning wasn't great. So this, I want purple roses in here. I can't place purple roses in here because I've got a red card here and it's not a rose. So I can't place a purple rose in here. Now, I'm going to take this card anyway, okay? And in fact, yep, I will. I'll take that one. And I'll show you why. Because, yeah, I've kind of lost out. That's 3 points for each purple rose in this column. So I'm not going to get 3 points for that. But I can still get 3 points for the 2 invisible spaces that are here. And I can actually place a card in here. So you just got to imagine that 3x3 grid in the middle still exists. So I mean, I could place it down here and say that's my bottom right card. I could do that. It's not going to give me any benefit, but for scoring in this card. So yeah, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to have to now be very careful though, because I've kind of limited what I can put in here. So that's going to have to be a purple one of these, I think. Already my brain is burning. Yeah, I think a purple one of these. Or a red rose. A red rose in here. Okay, oh, we didn't replace that. So we're going to put that out now. We're just throwing away the leftmost card anyway, so that's gone. Move those up. Right. Now then, the other action that you can take is you can take a purple card. Any purple card you like from here. And you can put it into your village. So I could put it in here. But there is something else that you can do, okay? Which is, if you take a purple card as your action... oh, hang on, I've just missed something. This is a structure, and I've just played it. Now what special rule with the structure, and it's pretty much the only sort of special rule for any type of card, other than fields, now we'll get to that in a second, is that once you play a structure, you have to then draw and play a purple card. You must. So this is still my last action. I won't reset these because it's not going to make any difference anyway. So I could take one of these or I could take one from there. So what's going to help me here? So what have we got? I've got award for symmetrical forestry. So for every 2 of each type of trees, I will get 2 points. Could be an interesting one to try and put in there. I've got 2 trees here, but they're both different. Or maybe not. Award for outstanding birch plantation. So for each birch I get 2. For each oak tree, I get -2. That's not really going to help me at the moment. I don't really have any birches in my hand. I don't have any birches there, so maybe not. Best use of space. Each card is worth 2 points. Each tree reduces by 1 point. That could be an interesting one. So let's take that, okay? And actually, let's put it there. So I don't have a tree there. This is probably not the best idea. Because I'm going to want to put trees in here. Although, actually, I need to put a structure in here. So, yeah, maybe another structure. Maybe another structure in there. That's maybe what's going to help me. Right. Oops, it's upside down. There we go. And what's just come out? The award for polychromatism. Polychromatism. 3 colours of flowers will get you 6 points. That's a nice card. Right. So, what I was going to say about these purple cards as well is, let's say that on my next turn, I decide I want to take one of these. Okay, so let's take this this lovely polychromatism card. I could place it here. I could place it here. The other thing you do with the purple cards, you can actually place them over the top of other ones. So if you decide that the award that you've got, you're not going to score anything for, it's not something that's helping you in any way, or you think you can score more points just by placing this down, you could place it over the top. And that gets rid of the award underneath, and that's your new award for that column or row, depending on where you put it. This is one of these rules that, as the game goes on, you start to go, oh, hang on a minute, that's actually a really strong thing. Like, you can just, instead of basing all your cards around what you're doing, you can change your awards around and try and score points that way. It's quite an interesting concept. I do like it. Anyway, let's just continue playing with this at the moment. Let's see how we can get on with this. So I'm still looking for purple roses. There is a purple rose there. Yeah, let's just take that. Why not? So I'm going to take that purple rose. That is a legal placement to put it down here because it matches both the type and colour. Excellent. Turn that over. Simulate the other player taking a card. And I think next turn we'll simulate the player taking a purple card. Because that does happen. It is part of the game. So, back to me. Lawns. Let's talk about lawns. Lawns, you can place anywhere. If you take a lawn, you can place it anywhere. Sometimes some award cards will score you things for lawns. But the interesting thing about lawns is you can actually, it's the only instance where you can take a green card and play it over the top of a lawn. So you can basically turn the lawn into something else. Bit of a strange card. It seems to just be for very specific situations. Potentially, actually, one of them being ending the game. So the game ends once somebody has filled their entire village. Once that 3x3 grid in the middle is filled, the game's over. It also ends when the cards run out. One deck of cards runs out. That's it. Now, that's quite a hefty deck of cards. So you're going to have to go through that pretty intensely in order to end the game that way. But it has happened when I've been playing it. People looking for very specific cards and you're just going through. Okay, so what will I take? What am I still looking for? I'm looking for more structures. I'm looking for more trees. I've got one tree in here. I'm looking for a pond. And I do have a pond in my hand. But can I place it is the question. So, let's see this pond here. Can I place that there? Matches the colour of that. Doesn't match the type, matches the colour. Doesn't match the colour of that, and it doesn't match the type. I can't place that pond there. Yep, got myself into this little corner that I was talking about. Oh, well, here's a structure. Where did I say I wanted structures? I wanted structures in this row. Can't place that anywhere. Doesn't match the colour or type of these cards. Got another structure here. That's a red diamond one. So I could place that there and it matches the colour. I couldn't place it there because it doesn't match up with this, but I could place that there. So yeah, let's plan for that. I've still got to take a card though. Okay. I think... I'm going to take a blind draw. Okay, what have I got? That's actually worked out really well. I can place that there if I wanted to. Oh, but if I place that there, that's going to mess this up. All right, okay, this is burning my brain now. I'm not going to place that there then. I'm going to get the structure out. Let's put that there. Place the structure, that means I get to take a purple card now. So I will take... I don't think I'm going to get this award for polychromatism because I'm very purple and red. Birch plantation doesn't help me. Every 2 trees, that's not really helping. Oh, I'm just going to take a blind one. Why not? Award for scope and ambition of display. So each card gives you 1 point, each empty space gives you -3. Not the most exciting card in the world, but if you have empty spaces with this one, you're in trouble. Okay. This is one of these cards actually that I have used before to stop myself from losing points from another award. So something like this where I may not be able to fulfill it. You know what, I'm just going to place that down there just now. Right, what I'm going to do now, you kind of get the gist of how this game works. So I'm going to play through at the end of the game. And I'm going to come back and show you how it scores. Right, I'm going to slow the video down here for a second. I'm going to show you how this ability works. So, what you can do with this is that you can flip it over to that side and you can completely clear a set of cards and get some new ones out. It doesn't count as an action. So there was nothing there that was really helping me. I've got myself into a bit of a problem here. I don't think there's anything I can legally place in here now. I made a bit of a mess of that. So, not very good. Once I get a card in here, I'm going to end the game there and I will show you how the scoring works. Okay, so let's go. fact, this is pretty much the only card I can place in here. Well, there is one other. I can take a purple one of these to put in here. So I'm just going to put that in there. And we will call the game there. Okay, so let's have a look at how we score this game. So, we'll start with this. Okay, so just you take any card and just start there. So let's start with this column here. We've got the Peter Petals Award. So for every purple rose that I have in this column, I score 3 points. I have 2 purple roses. So that's 6 points. Should really be writing this down, but let's just try and keep track of it. 6 points. Right, award for feature and variety. So I wanted specifically 1 structure, 1 tree, and 1 pond, or an empty space. Okay, I specifically do not have that because I don't have the structure, which I was hoping to get in here, but there was no legal placement for that space. So I scored nothing for that card. The best integration of natural and man-made, so that was looking for specifically 1 structure and 2 trees, or 0 trees, or 2 structures and 2 trees. I've got 1 structure and 3 trees, so I don't think I scored anything for that. I think that's a 0 score, because I don't have the balance right. I specifically wanted 2 trees, I've got 3. So I've got 2 in this card, I've got 1 in that card, and the 1 structure is fine. So my columns have only scored me 6 points, not very exciting, but I haven't lost anything, but this, which is good, because in this game you can lose a lot of points. Right, excellence in trees. So for each tree basically I'm scoring 1 point. So 2 trees, no trees in that one, 8 points. Best use of space. So each card 2 points, each tree -1. So I've kind of lost 2 points here for not filling that in, but still I get 4 points for the 2 cards. I don't have any trees in here, so I'm not losing any points. So what's that? That's 12 we're up to now, isn't it? Right. While I was playing, I actually covered up this because it's not very exciting, and got the excellence in ponds and managed to get 2 ponds in here. So I'm going to score 2 points for each pond. So that's 2, 4. And I was on 12, wasn't I? So that's me up to 16. You also score points for ponds themselves. So I've got 1, 2, 3 ponds, so that's another 6 points. So that's me up to 22 points. That's not a terrible score. Not a terrible score for this game. It's not the best, I'll be honest. But it is possible in this game to end up with negative scores if you don't really plan ahead too well. I think the first game that my partner and I scored, it was played, it was very, very low scoring, but I think we ended up with something like -4 and 6 points or something like that. But that's how you score the game. I also haven't scored because I used the special ability in that. I could have got an extra point if I hadn't used my special ability, but I did. So that's great. I don't get that bonus point for that. And that's it. That's how you play Village Green.